It began as a whisper in the dark, a pinprick of light where, honestly, no light should be. The night sky over Neo-Alexandria was a familiar canvas, a deep and endless velvet cloth pricked with the steady lights of orbital stations and the slow, silent drift of moon freighters. But this was different. This was new. It did not drift. It fell. It tore through the blackness with a purpose, a streak of impossible gold against the familiar silver and blue of the city's perpetual twilight. Down below, the city hummed its electric song, totally unaware of the visitor that had just breached its atmospheric veil. The city was a canyon of light and shadow. Towers of chrome and crystal clawed at the heavens, their windows like a million watching eyes. Rivers of light flowed, the headlamps and taillights of flying vehicles, sleek auto-haulers, zipping personal flyers. The golden object plunged into this electric maze. It did not crash, it danced, it dipped under the arch of the Grand Skyway, it banked sharply, its golden aura flaring, narrowly missed a lumbering cargo transport whose pilot never saw the near miss, eyes on his navigation screen. A hummingbird of impossible origin, it flitted through a garden of steel flowers. Holographic ads flickered. A woman sipping a glowing blue drink, a man laughing as a virtual car assembled. The golden object passed through these phantoms, its glow merged with the ads, turning a cola sign into a brief nova. For a split second, the woman seemed to drink sunlight. The city's noise was a layered symphony hum of anti-grav engines, distant chimes of public announcements, the murmur of a million lives. Yet the object remained utterly silent, a ghost of light. The Grand Promenade was the city's beating heart. People from every walk of life filled the wide street, their faces lit by the shifting colors of towering billboards, soft glow of floating lanterns. A musician played a synthetic flute. Its melody wove through the chatter. Children chased small glowing drone pets. Tiny drones chirped and whirred. The air smelled of roasted synth nuts and the clean ozone of the city's air purifiers. And then the golden object arrived, descending to the center. It did not crash. It landed. It touched the shimmering permacrete like a falling feather. No explosion, no shockwave, no sound, more profound than any blast. The shield of golden light bloomed outward, a soft, silent wave of pure illumination. The musician's flute fell silent mid-note. Children stopped. Laughter caught. Every head turned as one, drawn by a silent call. Time did not just slow, it stopped. The entire city, captured in the amber of this moment, became a silent museum of itself. On the Grand Promenade, every person was a perfect sculpture, frozen in the last instant of their normal lives. The woman with her arm raised for a cab, the vendor and his customer, the musician with his flute, they were all caught. Their faces turned toward the golden object were illuminated with a soft, warm light. It smoothed away the lines of worry and haste, replacing them with a shared expression of serene astonishment. The light was not just around them, it seemed to be in them, a golden glow that shone from within. The silence was absolute. It was deeper than the quiet of an empty room or a deserted field. The metronome had stopped, the distant roar of sky traffic was gone. A drop of spilled soda hung suspended in the air, a perfect glistening jewel halfway between a cup and the ground. A flock of synth doves were frozen in mid-flap, their metallic feathers catching the golden light. The very air seemed to have solidified, the motes of dust and particles of light hanging motionless. It was a dreamscape, a place where the rules of physics had been gently set aside. The world was a photograph, and the golden object was the flash that had captured it. The golden object on the ground began to lose its shape. The light swirled faster and faster, a vortex of liquid sun. It stretched upward, pulling itself into a taller, more fluid form. The solid, heart-sized object melted away, and in its place, a shimmering vertical oval of pure light began to form. It was a doorway, a window, a portal. It hovered a few feet above the street, its edges soft and indistinct, its center a roiling, chaotic canvas of colors that were not of this world. The golden light that had frozen the city now receded, pulling back into this new creation, as if it were the source of all the light and all the stillness. The world did not simply restart, it transformed. The hard edges of the skyscrapers softened, their steel and glass surfaces seeming to ripple like water. Holographic ads detached from the buildings, drifting lazily through the air like luminous jellyfish. The muted colors of the city street bled into one another, the grey pavement turning into a soft mossy green, the vendor stalls sprouting crystalline flowers that pulsed with gentle inner light. The world was waking up, but it was not the same world that had fallen asleep. The frozen people did not unfreeze, instead they became translucent. Their bodies, still locked in their poses of wonder, turned into figures of pale, shimmering glass. The light from the portal shone through them, illuminating them from within, revealing not organs or bones, but constellations of tiny, glittering stars. The musician's flute, now made of crystal, began to emit a soft, chiming melody without being played, a soundtrack for the unfolding dream. Through the shimmering doorway, a new universe revealed itself. It was not a single place, but a collage of impossible landscapes, layered one upon the other, like panes of painted glass. The sky, a canvas of deep indigo, not black. One sun, brilliant white. The other, a gentle lavender. Instead, great, slow-moving creatures that resembled bioluminescent whales swam through the upper atmosphere. Their bodies trailed stardust that fell like gentle snow. Below this alien sky hung the islands, small islands no bigger than a city park, with a single bizarre tree, leaves like sheets of hammered copper. Others were immense continents unto themselves, mountains that pierced the two-sunned sky, waterfalls that cascaded from their edges, turning to sparkling mist, bridges of woven light, bridges of living vine, pathways hinting at creatures only seen in shadow, forests of crystalline trees pulsed with soft, internal light, their branches chiming like wind chimes in a breeze that could not be felt. Rivers of what looked like liquid silver flowed uphill, defying gravity. Banks lined with flowers that bloomed and wilted in a single breath, releasing clouds of shimmering iridescent spores. In the distance, a herd of six-legged creatures with hides of iridescent scales grazed on fields of glowing moss. Everything was alive, everything was strange, and everything was beautiful. The perspective viewed through the portal from the dreamlike city street was vertiginous and awe-inspiring. The air that seemed to drift out of it felt warm and smelled of unknown blossoms and clean, fresh earth. The alien world was not just a sight to behold, it was a destination waiting to be explored. The camera, the point of view, the soul of the observer, it began to move. It drifted away from the frozen, translucent people of Neo-Alexandria, past the crystalline flowers, past the dream-softened buildings. It floated slowly, inexorably, toward the shimmering ellipse of the portal. The low hum of the gateway grew louder. It became a resonant, all-encompassing thrum that vibrated in the very center of one's being. The strange, beautiful world on the other side grew larger, filling the field of vision. Its colors bloomed, details sharpened, impossibly clear. The floating islands seemed to beckon, the twin suns seemed to call. At the threshold, the boundary between worlds shimmered. For a moment, the dreamlike city and the alien landscape merged, a fleeting, beautiful collision, farewell and greeting at once. The journey was no longer a choice, it was inevitability. The final push through the portal was a rush of pure sensation, a torrent of light and a feeling of being stretched and compressed. Colors of the alien world washed over everything: indigo sky, lavender sun, silver rivers, copper leaves. Only the new world remained, impossible vistas, floating continents. Then it all faded. Light and color collapsed inward to a pinprick. Absolute blackness. Silence returned, deep, waiting void. In the darkness, a soft, steady beat. Thump, 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 thump. A heartbeat. And just as that question formed, there was one last, final, brilliant flash of pure white light. And then nothing.